Part 5 of my epic Christian love story. This is the first date. So I'd gotten Tariq's number, and a week rolls by, the day of the time we're supposed to meet up with him and his sister, by the way, because I was not going to do a date. I was determined to make friends, even if one of them was interested in me. That day rolls around, and you may have guessed it, Tariq texts me, his sister can't come. What a surprise. She's not feeling well. And I smile to myself and I say, okay, how am I going to handle this? Because I am determined. Hello, ponies. I am determined not to make this a date. So what do? I show up early. And it was like a little Asian pickup place, but you could sit down. So I go to the counter, I order my food, and I sit down. And so when Tariq shows up, everything's been paid for. Everything is already taken care of. He walks in, he finds me, and he's excited to see me, and he says, let's go order food. And I say, I've already ordered. And I still remember how sad he was. And he said, why not? And I go, well, it's not a date, so I pay for my own food. I was very upfront about that. I'm still so impressed with like young me and the directness. And I just love being direct in like pretty much any relationship. So I still remember his response. He just was like, he couldn't almost find the words for a second, but he said, okay, but next time I'd really like to pay. So he orders, he sits down, our food comes, and we are talking, and we are getting along so well, like really well. Like I'm almost suspicious of how well is getting along. 40 minutes in, and we're not slowing down at all. And I stop the conversation. I say, look, I think I like you, but I'm moving to Montana at the beginning of the school year, so I'm not sure how anything could work. And he stares at me wide-eyed, and he said, wow, you just said you like me just like that. That's amazing. And I say, yes, but did you hear the rest of it? And he goes, no, sorry, what did you say? He was so amazed that I liked him. So I said, I'm moving to Montana. And he says, well, that's not so bad. Was that long distance? And I said, yes. And he goes, well, we could get around that. And when he just said that long distance wasn't a big deal, something started to change in me. And I think deeper down in my heart, I was like, uh-oh, because I'd been in control before this moment, knowing that like, oh, you can flirt, but it's all harmless. Maybe it wasn't so harmless. What if we did do long distance? And we sit there, I think, for 2.5 hours. And finally, he's got to go because he has swim practice. So we stand up. I still have some leftover food to go. And I've got so I take the leftover food container, and there's like a little leftover sauce container, like the tiny one. I put it on top of my takeout container. And this is important because we walk out of the restaurant, over to the cars. I open my car door and say, about to tell him bye. And he leans in and he kisses me. I was so shocked. And the reason I was so shocked, because this was my first real life kiss. What do I mean by real life kiss? It means that as a teenager, I was an actress. I was a film actress. And so I had kissed actors before. So I kind of knew what to do. I knew like the amount of like pressure to apply and literally like how to move my lips. But I had never kissed someone out of my own attraction for them. And when Tariq pulled away, he saw, I think, maybe a blankness on my face because I didn't know how to respond. And he said, was that okay? And I look at him, I said, yes, I just wasn't expecting it. And he says, well, maybe we can try again. And he leans in and kisses me again. At that point, the butterflies had been slow, but then they were starting. And y'all, I lean into this kiss, and I drop the little sauce packet, and it hits the pavement, the parking spot, and it splatters everywhere. It splatters everywhere. So I break the kiss, and I look, I go, oh no. And he says, oh, do you want me to go inside and get more sauce for you? And I said, no, it's fine. I think I said, I'll see you later. And I get in my car, and I drive away because I had no idea what to think. The last time I had been attracted and fallen in love with someone, it had been an incredibly painful experience, and I picked the wrong guy. So having attractive feelings, like genuine ones where I was vulnerable, wasn't really that welcome. And I remember getting back home, and I told my roommate about the experience, and I just didn't know what to think. And she looked at me, trying to read me, and she goes, and this is her verbatim, she says, well, the good news is you don't have to marry him. She actually said that. So you think things are going well at this point in the story, right? Wrong. It's about to go off the rails. The next part, I'll tell you why.